Hey everybody, welcome back to Thingamajigger Thursday here at Thingamajigger, where I explain a unique or uncommon tool once a week. Last week's sneak peek tool right here, this is called a Nutplate jig, and we'll talk about that. And then when we're done with that, we'll take a sneak peek at next week's tool. Let's jump into it. All right, so to understand what a Nutplate jig is for, you need to know what a Nutplate is. So this is a type of a Nutplate, not the type that this is for. Here's a photo of that. All right, so what's the purpose of a Nutplate? Well, imagine if you needed to put a whole bunch of screws into something, but you couldn't access the back side of that something. Like, for example, an aircraft wing, all right? Now, there's a whole bunch of screws throughout the aircraft wings and body and tail and all that, but you can't access the back side to hold the nut while you're inserting or retracting a fastener. So that's what these are used for. And they're used in other applications as well, like I think race cars and basically anywhere that you have sheet metal that you can't access the backside to. All right, so there's two different ways you can mount these nut plates. One is just by hand, all right? You drill the hole for the main fastener. You can, install it and then drill the two holes for the wings, or the wing holes. Or you can use the jig, which just makes it a little bit quicker, a little bit easier, but you do need the special tools like this and clecos, and I'll explain what clecos are later. So you would drill the main fastener hole, which would be the same size as this larger pin. You notice this has only got one pin on one side, two pins on the other side. All right, so you drill the main size hole first, then you put that side into your material, then you can drill a hole through this little hole here. Then you pull it out, flip it over. Now you've got the main pin and the guide pin installed in the holes that you've already drilled. Now you've got a perfectly aligned and spaced third hole that you can drill. No marking, no nothing. You just drill one hole for the main nut plate fastener hole. Then you can just flip this thing back and forth to get the other two perfectly spaced to match the holes in the nut plate. Now these are matched. You need to use the proper jig for the proper nut plates. And that's it. So nut plate jig. All right, so here's the sneak peek for next week. It's got this little needle. It's got auto manufacturer names on here: Chrysler, Yale, GM, Basco, which I'm not familiar with. There's a Ford over here, Ford down there. Well, I guess that's the same arc. This needle is connected to this little pin right here. See it move there? Back of it's pretty plain Jane. That moves along with the needle. So that's it. If you got any guesses on what this little dude is called, go ahead and put it in the comment section and we'll go over it next week. And I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to give this away. I don't necessarily need it. It's just kind of cool. I'm pretty sure it's vintage, just judging by the names of the auto manufacturers. But hey, it is what it is. We'll figure that out when the time comes. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.